Hello everybody, as if there wasn't enough people talking to you about university, I'm here to talk to you some more. Now you can probably tell by the title of this video, but it is a lot. Today we are going to be talking about probably one of the broadest questions that anyone will have about university at this stage, and that is university worth it? Now for those of you that are watching this video because you're asking yourself this exact question, you've probably applied to university, you're getting some offers back, and you're still sat there kind of staring at this laptop screen wondering if you should accept. Now I know this is a tricky situation and for a lot of people they'll feel pressured to accept, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit about university in general, why people should go to university, a little bit about my own experience, and hopefully that might help you make up your mind a little bit. This video will be getting posted on my own YouTube channel and onto the Unite Students YouTube channel. So if you're watching from my YouTube channel, I definitely recommend heading over to the Unite YouTube channel. They have a lot more videos quite similar to this. They give you a good insight into student experiences across the UK, not just in Aberdeen like in my case. And if you are watching from the Unite YouTube channel and you would like to see a little bit more of my content, definitely come over and say hello. I make uni videos, kind of lifestyle, student related stuff, so yeah. Without further ado, let's get into this video because it's a biggie. So the first thing that I kind of want to talk about is the degree in general. Now the most obvious reason to go to university is to get a degree or an honours degree, and I feel like that is totally reasonable. It's sad but true that a lot of schools across the UK will kind of drill it into you that to get anywhere in life you need to go to university, you need to get a degree. And for a lot of people, that is true. They will want to get a degree, whether it is for a job or whether it is just for themselves, and that is a completely okay reason to want to go to university. But there are other options. The first most kind of obvious option staying within the kind of further education system is college. Now a lot of people will go to college if they're not entirely sure what they want to do yet, they don't want to commit 4 years of their life. That's if you're in Scotland. They don't want to commit however many more years of their life to going to university. And another reason for choosing college is they offer a lot more of a practical kind of hands-on education rather than university, which is often a lot more book-based. And for many that makes college a completely valid option. But something that I do just want to mention here, which I had no idea of until about a few months ago, is if you go to university and choose a course, in Scotland, say it's a 4-year course, if you complete the first 2 years of that course, you will get a HND, which you will get if you complete 2 years of college. So you can go to college and do a 2-year course in anything of your choosing and come out with a HND. But you could also apply to do a 4-year course at university, complete the first 2 years, and even if you decide that it isn't for you, you still have that HND. But doing it this way gives you the option to go further to get your degree and then your honours degree in 4th year. Now that's something that I had absolutely no idea about, and I only found out when one of my friends, Claudia, dropped out of university after 2nd year and got another HND. So she'd gone to college, done 2 years and graduated college with a HND. She then decided she wanted to go to university, so that would be an extra 4 years, and after 2 years decided that the course might not be for her, so she dropped out after 2nd year but then got another HND. So keep that in mind. But then I suppose there is option 3, and for a lot of people this might be the best option, and that is to go into work straight from school. You can work your way up that business, and after a certain amount of time, if that business sees potential in you, they might actually send you to college or university to do a qualification and you get paid for it. And if that were to work out in this way, you would have years of work experience, you would be getting paid, and you would eventually come out with a degree as well. So have a think about what it is that you want to do. Why is it that you want to study? Do you really need that degree, or would you be better getting into the workforce straight away? It entirely depends on the line of work that you want to go down, because for me that wouldn't really be possible, but for other people going straight into work, for example, might be a completely more sensible option. The second thing that I think is a huge consideration when thinking about university is what is it that you're actually going to study? Some people might want to go to university to do a degree so that they can get a certain job, but a lot of jobs nowadays don't actually require a degree, so think about what it is that you're wanting to do in the long run. Now for me, I had to go to university. By the time I got to the end of school, the only thing that I knew I wanted to do was teaching, and to teach you need a qualification. So that's why I applied for university. If I didn't want to go into teaching, I don't think I would have applied for uni because there was nothing else I really cared that much about. But more and more these days, so few jobs actually require a degree. For many employers, experience is so much more than just a sheet of paper that has a first class degree on it. So definitely think about that. If you're wanting to go to university just because you think you need a degree for a job, that's sometimes not always the case. But on the other hand, if you are wanting to go to university just to learn something more about what you love, then go for it. But with all of this talk about degrees and qualifications, it's important to keep one thing in mind. Probably the biggest disadvantage of going to university for a lot of UK students is the cost. Now, I am so lucky having grown up in Scotland that we get our tuition fees paid for us, and honestly that takes so much more pressure off of that decision. But for a lot of people, the money aspect of university is really where it's hanging in the balance, and it is so important to think about why you are going to university. If you're just going there because you feel pressure to by your school, because your friends are going, because you feel as though it's what you should do, maybe that's not the best idea, because bear in mind you're spending over £9,000 on something that you might hate. Maybe in that case it would be better getting a job for a while, you can see what you like, and then again maybe that job might fund you through a university degree later in your life. On the other hand, talking to all you Scottish students out there, this is kind of like the other side of the double-edged sword. Because we get free education and we can go to university and we don't have that consideration of tuition fees to pay for, that adds a whole other degree of pressure. I know a lot of people I went to school with felt pressured to go to university because they got tuition fees paid for. They thought, if we're getting this for free, then why don't we just use it? But that is certainly not the right decision to make. You shouldn't make a decision that consumes some of the best 4 years of your life just because you're getting tuition fees paid for. Because although that does sound sweet, university is still so expensive. You have living costs to pay for, rent, all of those things that you kind of forget about when you're making that initial decision. So just because you're getting your tuition fees paid for does not mean that that is the reason you should go to university. And moving on to something a little bit less heavy, let's talk about the life experience, because this is one of the main reasons I would probably urge you to go to university rather than shy away from it. University offers you so much more than just a degree. And I'd even go as far to say that the life experience that you gain at university is so much more valuable than said degree, but it is a big part still. So first, probably one of the most exciting things about going to university is the opportunity to join clubs and societies that you wouldn't otherwise have access to. Now, in second year when I was staying in Unite Halls, I stayed in a flat. It was just me and 2 others that were at university, and the rest were all at college. And one of the main things that we spoke about were societies and clubs, because at university there are so many. For the University of Aberdeen, for example, there are over 200 sporting clubs, societies, all things like that. And at the college that all of my flatmates were at, there was none. Society life and club life is a huge part of university, and it really gives you a little identity and a little family while you are there. And that is something that my college flatmates really missed out on because they didn't offer that at college. And building on top of that, you have the opportunity to be in committees at university, which is great. Number one, for the fun side of things. You get so involved in something that you're so passionate about. But not only that, it helps you moving forward. If you're able to write on a transcript or on a CV that you've been part of a university club or society committee, that shows leadership, responsibility, and kind of a drive further than just getting your degree. It looks great to future employers, and in the majority of cases, people want to see a lot more than just a degree classification on a piece of paper. They want to see that you've really made the most of your time at uni, and joining clubs and societies and being on committees really does that for you. And then there's another consideration, which is work. Now, being at university has given me so many amazing opportunities work-wise. I've done so many fun and exciting jobs, all because I've been at university. Last year I worked as an intern at my university, and I'm now a student ambassador, and I get to go to university but also get paid from the university for doing really fun jobs. And I wouldn't have been able to do that obviously if I didn't go to the uni. Additionally, for me, going to university meant that I could start making university content on my channel, and that is what led me to Unite Students. I would not be able to make videos like these for Unite Students if I didn't go to university in the first place. And I know that my situation is pretty rare, and a lot of people that go to university will not have a YouTube channel and will have no interest whatsoever in making videos. But it's just fun things like that. I would not be able to be doing this job if I didn't go to uni. Now for perhaps one of the most important life experience parts of moving to uni, it's independence. Now the majority of people that will go to uni will move out. It's just one of those things that the chances are the thing that you want to study is probably a few hours away in a car, and that forces you to move out of home. And for a lot of people that will be one of the best things that they could possibly do. Moving out of home and moving to uni brings a whole new degree of responsibility and independence, and for a lot of people that can be quite scary, but in the long run it's going to do you so much good. I have grown so much in the time that I've moved out of home. I've been at university for 2.5 years now, and I'm so different from the person that was sat here filming a video a few years ago. But I do feel like it's important to mention that sometimes moving out can be super stressful. So many people will move out of home and have different anxieties about it. Homesickness is a huge part of first semester of first year at university, and for a lot of people it can feel really difficult. I was really lucky that I didn't really get hit that much by the homesickness thing, which I thought I would, because I've lived in the same house my full life. I have such a close relationship to my mum, and I was just expecting to move out and feel lost. But luckily I totally got into the way of things, but that's not always the case. And for a lot of people that can be a downside of moving to university, whether it is just an icky feeling in their stomach for a few days, or whether it is something that lasts a bit longer. That homesickness and sense of like liminality can be really unsettling, and it's important to consider that when you're making your choices about where you want to go to university. But I would like to add that a little bit of uncertainty about moving out should not stop you from considering going to university. I was scared, I was petrified about moving out to university. I chose the uni that was furthest away from my home that I'd applied to, and that was a big, bold move. I was really nervous and I didn't really know what to expect, and I did it and I loved it. So definitely don't let that sense of ugh put you off. And the final thing that I'm going to talk about today is meeting new people. And I feel as though there's only one way to look at this, and that is that it's a positive of moving to university. For me, I'd go as far as saying that university was entirely worth it just because of the people that I've met by going there. Honestly, there are some amazing people I've met. I've met some of my best friends that I possibly could ever meet while being at university. I've met some people that have taught me some major life lessons while being at university. I've met some people that have expanded my career and my vision and my hopes and dreams for when I actually leave. And it's made me value those that are back at home. And none of that would have happened if I didn't go to uni. Now again, I feel as though this is an area that can come with a lot of stress when considering moving to university. You might want to stick to a uni that your friends from school are going to, even though the course might not be 100% for you. You might be a little bit worried about picking a university that's a little bit further away because you're worried that you won't see your family every so often. But in this day and age, technology is there to replace so much of that worry. FaceTime is a lifesaver. Chances are you're in a group chat with all your friends anyway that goes off non-stop, and that won't change if you just move a few hours away. And because of that, if you're torn between a university that's a bit closer to home, all of your friends are going to it, but the course isn't 100% for you, and on the other side you have this university that's a little bit further away, you don't really know anyone there, but the course is something that you think would be really interesting, I would urge you to go for that further away option. You never know until you try, and the chances are being at a whole new university without a group of friends behind you will encourage you to put yourself out there more and make the most of it. And that experience is perhaps one of the most important when going to university. And on that note, there we have it. That's my thoughts, kind of all wrapped into one big rambly video. I hope it's given you some ideas either one way or another. I hope it's kind of inspired you a little bit and might help make your decision a little bit easier. In my experience, university has been 100% worth it. But it's not right for some people, and that's not a bad thing. Even if you give it a go and it turns out wrong, you've learned something. If you are still a little bit unsure and you have any questions, do leave them down below in the comments section. Similarly, my DMs are always open on Instagram. I answer questions over there all the time. I will leave my Instagram down below in the description box. And I do just want to end this video by reminding you that it will be posted on my channel and on the Unite Students channel. So if you're watching on one, head over to the other and it might help make that decision a little bit easier. And on that note, I will see you again soon with another video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.